has looked good over the past few weeks, winning 2 of their last 3. The Lions are 15-3 with a 5-1 record. In the Gambrill Conference, the Hawks are 10-8 and 4-2 in the Spears Conference. Great to have you with us on Cool Oldies 1450. I'm Ryan Pierce. With me is Coach Rick Little. Coach, I'll get to you in just a second. I think we're about to do the national anthem. We'll go ahead and pause for that for just a moment.
Legion Post 168 in Thurmont is amazing. Not only do they support local high school sports on the radio, but they have great food, great fun, and they constantly serve our community in so many ways. Check out their Facebook page, American Legion Post 168, to find out about their exciting events. And be sure to say thank you for supporting our local community. And don't you forget to say thank you every time you see them for their selfless sacrifice in military service to our country. Thanks, American Legion Post 168. We salute you. Everyone in Thurmont knows and respects Dr. John Hageman Chiropractic and his wife Marcia at Center of Life Pilates for their many years of helping people in need and for the wonderful ways they give back to their community. Through scholarship and fundraising efforts, Center of Life is located on Water Street in downtown Thurmont. For information or to check out their schedule, go online to centeroflife.us today. That's Center of Life Chiropractic and Pilates. Make an adjustment to your life today.
Back here in Cool Oldies 1450. Great to have you with us for some high school basketball tonight. The Urbana Hawks on the road against the Walkersville Lions. The Lions try to keep their positive momentum going this season. What a year they've had. 15-3, 5-1 in conference. And Ryan Pierce alongside me, Coach Rick Little. Coach, what a year for Walkersville, as they look like a team that could potentially go very deep in the 2A postseason.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting how they respond tonight. Walkersville has 2 starters not playing tonight against this strong Urbana team who likes to get up and down the floor, will push the pace. Contrast in style, Walkersville likes to feed the big guy, Kenyon Johnson, who's leading the county, 20 points, 11 rebounds. He's a beast inside, so that's Urbana's challenges to contain him. Walkersville's challenges to find some scoring around Kenyon and defend the hot shooting Urbana Hawks.
You look at Urbana, they're more of a balanced attack, and that's the big storyline tonight. Walkersville going to really rely on Kenyon Johnson without Eubanks, without some of their top scoring players. On the flip side, Urbana's got a lot of balance. Terry Pachu, Mason Johnson, and Sean Piles all averaging between 9 and 12 points per game. They can shoot as well.
Yep,
It's a tough team to defend.
Yep, and I don't do this every game, but after watching Urbana play, I'm going to try to keep track of 3-point shots, made and missed, because I think that's going to how this game's going to swing. If Walkersville is able to contain and challenge the 3-point shot, they might have a chance against this 4A Urbana Hawk team.
Walkersville is ranked 6th in 2A, 61st in the state. Urbana is 13th in 4A and 101st in Maryland. As we're off and running, Walkersville wins the tip. Kenyon Johnson, the big 6'4" center, wins the jump. And it's the Lions with the ball first in their home white uniforms. Ball goes down low to Johnson, left block. He draws a double team. Kicks out left wing to Dylan White. He'll have to play big tonight with injuries and scores with the layup on the first play.
Yeah, Dylan's going to have double duty tonight. He's going to have to score to make up for the 10 points lost with Darius Eubanks being out of the game, and be the point guard, which he typically is not. And he's off to a great start there.
3 from Terry Patchow is off. Offensive rebound, center paint Whitehead. He loses. Trickles to the corner, picked up by Mason Johnson, the biggest player for Urbana. He's going to likely have the responsibility of guarding Kenyon Johnson on the defensive end. As the shot clock's down to 10. Ball fake and a drive from Patchow up and under to tie it at 2 apiece.
Nice move, good ball fake, got Kenyon Johnson to rise up just a little bit, able to drive by for the layup.
Patchow averaging just under 11 points per game, too early, and we're even at 2. Now on the left block to A.K. Whitby, the second leading scorer that is playing tonight with Eubanks out. Top of the key, 3 is nothing but net from Wyatt Gerhardt. A pair of field goals to start for Walkersville, and they're up 5-2. Now the official stops play. He goes to the scores table. Clock reads 6:33 left in the first quarter. It's 5-2 Walkersville. As Urbana will inbound near side. Big crowd here at Walkersville High School.
Great crowd here Friday night in Walkersville. They typically do show out here in Walkersville, and they certainly did tonight.
Deflected by Johnson and stolen by Wyatt in transition. May have walked, no call. Shot was blocked, still batted up in the air like a pinball, and it comes down to Walkersville. Center paint, baby shot from Whitby is long, and Urbana the rebound. Now the other end, Hawks working left to right in their dark blue road uniforms. Open left wing 3 from Jared Hughesby. It's nothing but, excuse me, that's actually
Sean Piles.
Sean, thank you. That was Sean, you said Sean Piles, their coach?
Piles.
There we go, Sean Piles. So we're even at 5. 5:50 left to go in the first quarter. Ball goes to the top of the key. Wyatt Gerhardt lost it, and here comes Caden Swing and Urbana. Piles a 3 early. And up and under from Patchow. Off the reverse, the swing. He dribbles behind his back, lost control. White almost stole it. And now it's in the hand of Piles. Top of the key, it goes to Johnson. Back to Piles, high right wing, 10 to shoot. Now straight on Patchow. He goes to work on Brown. Spins to his left hand in the paint. The right-handed shot is good, and it's 7-5. A 5-0 run for Urbana.
Yep. Strong move again on the interior by Patchow. Walkersville, in their smothering half-court defense, they only allow 44 points per game. So that's, I can do that math, 11 per quarter. So we'll keep an eye on that one too. And Urbana's off to a good start here already. 3 minutes in, scoring 7 points.
7-5, and Urbana picks up the steal. Yeah, 11 points per quarter allowed. We'll keep that number in mind. As Caden Swing brings it across the timeline. Now Johnson, the tall post player, about 5 feet beyond the three-point line. It's reverse left side. Swing thought about a 3. Now gives Johnson left block. He kicks out straight on Patchow, who's got 4 points already. Now Piles with 5 to shoot. Piles to the rim. The runner is through. And a 7-0 run for Urbana opens up a 4-point advantage with 4:30 left to go in the first.
Yeah, great shot there on the drive. Challenged by Elijah Brown, he was able to get it over top of him and through the net.
Walkersville tries to stop the run from Urbana. Whitby backs in the defender, left block, top of the key pass to Johnson. Johnson, one dribble, high right wing to, that was Dylan White. Now in the corner to Brown, he misses everything long. Ricochets off of the hand of Piles, out of bounds. 4 seconds to shoot, 4:09 left to go in the quarter. As Brown checks out.
Trevor Fowl for Walkersville makes his first appearance.
But Trevor Fowl is in. His brother Justin Fowl is not playing tonight. High pass into Johnson, and he's wrapped up on the left arm. A foul with 3 on the shot clock. It's on the floor, I believe. And yes, it will be ball out underneath the right side of the basket for Walkersville. They get a fresh 30, though, with the foul and 4:07 left to go in the first.
Yep. That's only the second time, and now there's the third. Kenyon and immediately gets a double team.
Can't make it center paint. Johnson off the inbound pass and a defensive rebound for the Hawks on the other end. Here's Johnson at the top as Urbana works the weave. High left wing Johnson holds the ball over his head. Passes top of the key to Patchow. Patchow stops and now to Whitehead right wing. In the hand of Piles. Trying to work on the defender Foul. Off the weave it goes to Patchow. Check that, it's Whitehead. He drives, loses control, and it rolls out of bounds.
Tried to drop a pass to teammate Patchow, just not able to get through there, and then as it rolled out of bounds, put his hand on it.
Full court press from Urbana. It's a 2-2-1. Now they drop back into man-to-man as foul. Dribbles across the timeline. Hands off high left wing. Gearhart, one-handed pass. Center paint layup. Right block is dropped in. What a pass there from...
A missile.
Yes.
From Gerhardt to White.
Found Dylan White for a second field goal. Top of the key three is missed. Center paint rebound. Whitby. Walkersville. As they can tie with a 2, take the lead with a 3. Just over 3 minutes left to go in the first quarter. White at the top of the, or just in front of the timeline. Dribbles the ball between his legs. Defended by Caden Swing. Into the corner. Johnson under pressure, back to the top. It's Gearhart driving, runner in the paint off the back 10. Johnson rebounds, but is called for an over the back.
Yep, a little push from behind. Kenyon, an aggressive offensive rebounder. Got one there. Elijah Brown checks in. The Lions, I believe, with those 2 starters out, they typically only play 8 players anyway. So 6-man rotation. They can't get in foul trouble. Boy, that's going to really make things tight for Walkersville.
Justin Fallon, Darius Eubank, 2 of their top scorers are out tonight. As Pachu tries to drive, already 4 points, kicks back high left wing. Samuel Humes in, and now a foul called away from the basket, or the basketball, as it is whistled on Wyatt Gearhart, his first. And the second of the Lions, 9-7. Hawks on top of the Lions, 2:27 left to go in the first quarter. Off the inbounds pass, the jumper from 10 feet away, baseline right, rolls in for Sean Piles.
Boy, he's a nice shooter, that young man. Up high, nice soft touch.
Dylan White over to the right wing. To Trevor Fowl, now high-loaded Johnson, throws it down with 2 hands. Kenyon Johnson separated from the defender and threw it home.
Yeah, Mason Johnson working hard, but Kenyon so strong, the double team could not get there quick enough. 2 points, Walkersville.
Under 2 left in the quarter, Hawks are up by 2 in the ball. 3 left wing is long from Mason Johnson. Center paint rebound by Walkersville and Wyatt Gearhart. And now once again the Lions can take the lead with a 3, tie with a 2. And for the timeline, Dylan White to Brown, now back to White, high right wing, over the top, fires a 3, and got nothing but net from Dylan White. A quick 5-0 run, and the Lions lead by 1 with 80 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Pass down low, goes through the backside, out past Piles, scooped up by Humes, kicks to the left wing. Pachu passes on the 3, drives the paint, no, but a foul on Kenyon Johnson, and that is number 2 on the star post player for Walkersville. And that creates a problem with already 2 players, 2 regular starters not playing tonight for the Lions.
And James Steers getting ready to come into the game. He does not play a lot of minutes for Walkersville, but he's going to be key tonight.
Coach Mike Mathis is going to have to work that lineup like a puzzle tonight. Really try to strategize out how he plays without his 2 top scorers for a good chunk of this, next 6 or 7 minutes, you would expect.
Yep.
The second foul shot is good. Pachu missed it first. We're tied at 12 with 1:10 left to go in the first quarter. James Steer takes the inbounds pass, the 5'9" junior, as Walkersville goes a little bit small. Steer 5'9" in for the 6'5" Kenyon Johnson. 6'4" to be exact. Ball top of the key to Trevor Fowl. Under a minute left to go in the first quarter, 15 on the shot clock. A methodical possession for Walkersville. Straight on Elijah Brown. Now to Foul again. The lefty thought about a 3. Instead, gives to Whitby, the leading scorer on the court with 2 seconds to shoot. Whitby lowered the left shoulder and is called for an offensive foul at the left elbow as Pachu hit the floor. That is 4 fouls on Walkersville in this first quarter.
Yeah, and cannot lose their key personnel to fouls, but not a good start for that.
At the top, Pachu pass almost stolen. Whitehead picks it up with 27 of the first quarter, 15 to shoot in the shot clock. Almost another steal. Top of the key it goes. Pachu had a look. Pass to the right wing, and Humes is called for steps on the pump fake. Patrick had a couple opportunities. He's passed up a few threes in this first quarter.
Yeah, one too many passes, I believe, on that possession for Urbana.
Shot clock turned off, 20.8 left in the quarter. Walkersville plays their cards right. They'll go into the second, at the very least tied. Bounce pass down low, and it's kicked. 12.2, no shot clock to reset. So it'll be Walkersville ball out underneath the bucket.
See what Coach Mathis calls here without his big man inside. Setting up a shooter.
8 to shoot, White with it. Holds the ball over, so it's actually James Steer. Off the pick, he gives to Gearhart. Rather White, the fadeaway three, and it's long from Dylan White, about 5 feet beyond the three-point line. And that is how the first quarter ends. A tight one, 12-12 as we head to the second on Cool Oldies 1450.
Service LLC is conveniently located at 108 North Carroll Street in Thurmont with over 40 years of experience in the plumbing industry, celebrating its 10th year serving our community, specializing in all phases of plumbing, including septic installation and repair. The favorite part of our job is meeting new people and knowing that we helped. Kelco Plumbing prides itself on a job well done with pricing that won't flood your budget. Burst pipes, water damage, clogged drains, replacement, remodel, or upgrades. Kelco Plumbing Services most major fixtures, faucets, water heaters.
We're set for the second quarter, 12-12. Ryan Pierce with me is Coach Rick Little on Cool Oldies 1450. Tight quarter there, Coach. Two teams evenly matched. Of course, the fouls were the storyline for Walkersville.
Yeah, and the personnel and the big storyline, Walkersville staying in this game on the power of the three-point shot. 2 for 3 in the first quarter was Walkersville. Urbana only 1 for 4.
Piles a layup to open up the quarter. Real quick, want to note our game sponsors: American Legion Post 168, Center of Life Chiropractic, Fredericktown Yamaha, Kelco Plumbing, and Thurmont Country Kitchen. Big thanks to all of our sponsors. First possession of the quarter for Walkersville, down by 2. Whitby has it knocked away from behind. And here comes Urbana on the other end, working left to right in their dark blue uniforms. Ball was probably knocked away on the pass from Brown on that last possession. Top of the key pass goes to Piles. Ball fake pull up from the elbow. Had it tipped. Rebound put up by Johnson's no good, and a defensive rebound for Walkersville. Here comes Gearhart on the other end, out of control, and he is called for an offensive foul. Coach, that was a tough one.
Yeah.
Gearhart, maybe not in control, but I'm not sure if the defender was set.
Correct. And I guess the referee was saying the displacement was caused by Gearhart. But, yeah.
Urbana takes it 1 minute into the second quarter. They're up by 2, 14-12. As Caden Swing lost control, and it's stolen by Wyatt Gearhart. Gearhart to foul. Now Justin said the timeline to White. White and Gearhart are going to have to pick up the slack tonight without Darius Eubank. Off the pick and pop, it's Whitby for 3 from the right wing to put Walkersville back up by 1. What is that now, Coach? 3 3-pointers?
3 for 4 is Walkersville.
Underneath left block, Caden Swing missed the open shot from the left block. It's knocked out of play, and it belongs to the Lions. With 6:23 left in the first half, they're up by 1.
Yep. Solid offensive possession, and A.K. Whitby, they gave him plenty of room, and he made them pay.
Two teams that have had a really good February so far, at least. Lions 15-3 overall this year. They've won their last 6. Urbana 10-8. They've won 2 of their last 3. 3 from the left wing from foul. Misses everything off the bankboard and steps. A travel is called on Pachu as he tried to pass the ball up the court.
Yep. Got caught mid-stride, changed his mind, and traveling is a call.
So Walkersville catches a break. They get a fresh 30, ball out underneath their own bucket, 6:04 left in the second quarter. They're up 15-14 with Kenyon Johnson on the bench with 2 fouls. They've been able to hold water and actually pick up a point. White drive to the top of the key, pull up left elbow, Whitby around and out, defensive rebound Hawks. Whitehead on the other end, zips up the floor, glides to the paint, avoids the defender, and a blocking foul is called. The basket is good, and Whitehead to the free throw line. Whitehead got up in the air, tried to maneuver the body mid-air, made contact with the defender. Really, it was Whitehead drawing the contact. Misses the free throw, and Whitby the rebound. His team down by 1. Whitby has a lane to the rim and missed the reverse layup. Maybe could have gone that one straight up. Now on the other end, it's in the hands of Pachu. The skip over to the right side, Piles. He tries to drive on the defender, goes off his foot, rolls luckily right back to Whitehood. Now the corner to Johnson. Misses the 3 and a weak side rebound for the Lions. Trevor Fowl grabbed it off the rim. Round top of the key, over to Whitby, who's already got a 3 in this quarter. Now straight on White. He's defended by Swing. About 3 feet beyond the three-point line, right side. As foul beats the defender, slipped underneath the rim, tossed it up, had it blocked out of bounds, and it will stay with Walkersville 10 to shoot.
Yeah, looked like foul, just like you said, slipped. His feet went out from underneath him. Urbana tipped the ball out of bounds. Fortunate to get possession again is Walkersville.
Pass to the left quarter. Now's left wing steer. In the hands of White. Feeds in the block. Whitby lets the defender fly by and scores with the right hand from the left block.
Great position by AK and ball fake. Got Johnson up in the air. Then finished.
17-16 Lions lead. The Hawks' chance of defense. Pass deflects off the right hand of Elijah Brown. Sails out of bounds. It will stay with the Hawks. They got 19 to shoot. Right side of their hoop, underneath their basket is where they inbounds. Goes to the top to Pachu. He works on Brown. Beats Brown to the rim and scores as Whitby came by for the attempted block, maybe a hair late. Back and forth we go. It is the Hawks up by 1 with 4:30 remaining in the first half. On top, White. He's got 2. Rather, that's Trevor Fowl. Now Whitby with 5 in the quarter. He matches up on Johnson, spins into Johnson, draws the double team. Out to White, who fakes to Whitby. Top of the key 3 off the back iron. Skying for the rebound and pulling it in. Or the Hawks. Piles passes up the court. Johnson to the rim, gets the bucket, plus the foul. Already 3 whistles on Walkersville in the quarter. That one's on Whitby. And to the line to try to complete the 3-point play is Mason Johnson.
Yeah. And Whitby looked like he was exhausted there.
That might be 2 on Whitby as he comes out of the game. I'm not sure if that's 1 or 2. Couldn't hear what the PA announcer mentioned. As Johnson misses the free throw, offensive rebound, Pachu. Center Pate kicks it back out in the reset for Swing. The bencher Walkersville wanted to travel. Swing glides up and under, misses the layup. Brown the rebound. Under 4 minutes left to go in the half. It's knocked away from behind and stolen by Swing. Working left to right, Hawks come on transition. And now they slow up the tempo. Johnson tapped the key. Piles. And a player hits the floor. It's an offensive foul on Christian Whitehead as Brown tumbled to the hardwood.
Yeah, Elijah Brown stepped in front of the cutting Whitehead. Whitehead put him on the floor. Offensive foul.
2017, Walkersville trails by 3, a 4-0 run for Urbana with a handful of Lions players on the bench with foul trouble. They are also down a couple tonight. They're hanging in there, down by 3, 3:30 left in the first half. Quick pass to the top is to White, who might be the #1 option with Whitby and Johnson on the bench. Spinning in the corner is Trevor Fowl. He's under pressure, gets to Brown, who drives and has it blocked out of bounds. Brown slow to get up as he's helped up by his teammates. 9 seconds to shoot for Walkersville. They'll have it out, far sideline, near the corner. It'll be fouled to inbound. White takes it with 8. Brown looks to be okay. Has it top of the key. Guarded tightly by Pachu. 5 to shoot off the pick. The step back from foul to Brown. He's got to hoist it up and does not get it off in time as the shot clock expires. Tough possession there for Walkersville.
Yeah, Urbana playing solid defense, making challenging things for Walkersville. Conversely, Walkersville, even with this group of subs playing solid half-court defense, keeping their team in the game. Scoring has slowed down quite a bit here in the second quarter.
Johnson drives, fades in the left block, and missed it short. Brown the rebound. As Camden Homer, who subbed in, hit the floor, he seems to be okay as he gets back up and hustles down the other way. In front of this big crowd at Walkersville High School, both of the lower bowls in the arena are full. Running shot is missed from White. Weak side rebound. Hawks on the other end in transition. Left-handed layup is down by Caden Swing.
Nice transition there by Urbana. Great passing.
Lead is 5 for the Hawks with 2:30 left to go in the half. I think if Walkersville can keep this under 2 possessions, they'll take that as a win with some of their foul trouble. And a moving screen is called on Camden Homer. A.K. Whitby is back in. He subs in for Brown. Caden Coretti is in for Urbana. Kenyon Johnson on the bench with 2 fouls. Darius Eubank not in uniform tonight. Neither is Justin Fallis. A 3 rims out from Urbana. Rebound Walkersville. Homer center paint. Steyer across the timeline to the top to Trevor Fowl. Now White as Walkersville slows down the offense into the corner. Steyer had some room, instead opts for the 15-footer, misses long, and a foul going for the rebound on A.K. Whitby. And 2 shots coming up for Urbana.
Yep.
As that's 5 fouls on Walkersville. I was trying to listen to the PA to see how many fouls that is on Whitby. Can't quite tell.
Yeah, they're not putting it up on the board for us. So I think Elijah Brown, who's had a rough first half hitting the floor a lot, is subbing in for AK.
Whitby comes out. Pachu made the free throw. It's a 6-point Urbana lead, 23-17. 1:47 left in the first half. Another free throw coming up for Pachu. Averaging 11 points per game. The 6'4" senior knocks down both. Now subs out. Mason Johnson walks back onto the floor.
This is a big possession for Walkersville. They got to stem the tide a little bit.
2 leading scorers available tonight. Both have 2 fouls. At least, we think it's 2 on Whitby. We know for sure it's 2 on Kenyon Johnson. It's a 7-point lead for Urbana. Let's see if Walkersville can keep this under 2 possessions before halftime. Top of the key 3 from White. Big if it goes. It's long. Offensive rebound. And a push-off is called on Trevor Fowl. And it leads to free throws for Urbana. The foul differential starting to mount a bit. That is 6, I believe, in the quarter on Walkersville. 1 for Urbana. And now a 20-second timeout is going to be taken. 30-second timeout by Coach Mike Mathis.
Yeah, and I think he just settled his team down. A lot of inexperienced players on the floor right now. Just play fundamental basketball. Keep relying on your defense. They just need to find some points somehow here before the half. And then Kenyon Johnson gets back into the game with the 2 fouls. I know Coach Mathis really doesn't want to play him here in the second quarter with those 2 fouls. That's just his, game plan typically when a young man has 2 fouls.
Coach, I'm being told by our producer, Michael Betteridge, that Whitby has 3 fouls. So A.K. Whitby with 3. We're trying to get confirmation there. So he's got 3. Kenyon Johnson with 2 as the foul shot is missed from Urbana. And they're already without Darius Eubank and Justin Fowl. bank their second leading scorer foul a starter. So they are, to say the very least, undermanned tonight with those foul trouble. Brown passes up the floor, football pass to White, and he's fouled in the front court. The shot went in. Does it count is the question. And it does. And one for Dylan White. It was close, somewhere between a continuation and a shot. The officials say it's closer to a shot. Big call there. That cuts it to 6, and White can make it a 5-point game. He does not. It touched every part of the rim and rimmed out. Ball on the floor. Pile up for it, and a jump ball is called. It will stay with Walkersville. So the Lions can have a big possession here, down by 6 already with 2 points in the possession. 1:25 left in the second.
Yeah, with a fresh 30, Walkersville can work this down to under a minute in the second quarter.
Could be one of those moments if Walkersville can hang in it, then maybe take the lead in the second half. You look back at and think it's a big turning point in the game. Pass to Homer at the top. It's on the left wing to White. White's their main offensive weapon, beats the defenders, gets in the paint, bodies into Johnson, and draws the foul. That is 3 on Urbana. It looked like it was on the floor, so another fresh 30 for Walkersville. Dylan White able to draw a couple fouls in this possession.
Had good body control, good ball fakes, and then hard to the rim to draw the foul.
1:15 left in the second. Walkersville down by 6. 25-19 off the pick to White. Left corner 3. It's good! Dylan White, 5 points in the possession, and it's a 3-point game.
Big 3-point shot. 4 made by Walkersville already in the ball game.
Swing, pick and roll, two-handed dunk from Pachu underneath.
Beautiful screen and roll, nice bounce pass into the open Pachu, who slammed her home.
45 seconds left in the half, 5-point game. Brown stops from the free throw line, off the backboard and through from Elijah Brown. So Brown responds, 27 on the shot clock, 32 in the game. Chance of defense from this packed house at Walkersville High School. Ball works around the 3-point line, now down left block to Johnson. Dribbles back out to Pachu. Pachu passes on the 3, drives on Brown. Stops and glided the pivot foot. It's a travel. So Walkersville, after being down by 7 in a dangerous spot with foul trouble, can tie with a 3 with 17 seconds left in the first half.
And they need some attention for number 12, must be bleeding.
That is Samuel Hughes, number 12 for Urbana. It's actually number 12, excuse me, for Walkersville. Dylan White, deep pass up the floor. Gearhart underneath the layup, makes it a 1-point game. Elijah Brown playing quarterback with a dime of a pass from out of bounds.
So that's 2 press release fast break baskets by Walkersville.
Johnson as the clock expires, no good, and the first half closes with an 8-2 run from Walkersville, and they cut the lead down to 1, 27-26 at the break.
Yeah, and if you're Coach Mathis, you got to be ecstatic that these young men kept you in the game defensively and then made a couple of shots in the last 2 minutes of the half to get you right back into this ball game.
We got a close one. Walkersville 26, Urbana 27 at the half on Cool Oldies 1450.
Thurmont Country Kitchen, conveniently located on Water Street in downtown Thurmont. It's just like home, only they do the dishes. Ha! Family owned and operated since 1984, Thurmont Country Kitchen has something for everyone. Handicap accessible, we're your choice for small gatherings or parties, and we cater too. Thurmont Country Kitchen's owners, Sherry and Rob, recently received the You Make Thurmont Proud Award. And hey, speaking of awards, their roasted chicken is the best in Maryland, hands down. Thurmont Country Kitchen's menu is unbelievable with something for everyone. Check them out today. Thurmont Country Kitchen is a proud sponsor of high school sports on the radio.
Here's another Cool Oldies 1450 reminder. You can get a winter emergency food box at the Emmitsburg 50 Plus Senior Center to keep on hand in the event of a weather or related emergency. Stop in and ask the Senior Center supervisor for your free box of shelf-stable food available while supplies last. Now, each box contains 8 individual servings of vegetables, 8 individual servings of fruit, 2 cans of tuna, 2 packs of fully cooked white meat chicken, a jar of peanut butter, a can of spaghetti sauce, a can of black beans, a package of rice, a package of grits or oatmeal, and 3 cartons of shelf-stable milk. All food is supplied by the Maryland Food Bank. Now, to learn about this great event and more, just go online to WTHUradio.com. Remember, at Cool Oldies 1450, we care about our community and about you.
The Catoctin Banner is your source for all good news happening in our community. New issues are published by the first of each month. Check your mailbox, view online, or grab a copy at one of the many local businesses in and around the Catoctin community. The paper is also a great way to promote your company and show your support for the good things happening in our community. For more information, visit thecatoctinbanner.com or follow us on Facebook.
We hope you're enjoying the game. Let's hear a special message from another one of our fantastic sponsors.
E-bikes are the latest trend in urban and suburban transportation. Pedal or throttle, exercise or relax. E-bikes are everywhere now in our area. Fredericktown Yamaha Cycle Company is Frederick County's largest supplier of pedal-assisted e-bikes. Fredericktown Yamaha is a supplier of Yamaha, Giant, and Intense electric bikes. From open road to crosstown commutes, mountain bikes, and more. Fredericktown Yamaha specializes in 2 wheels and a motor. Since 1975, located just off Urbana Pike in Frederick. Check out our website at fredericktown.yamaha.com. Fredericktown Yamaha, where the fun begins.
Cool Oldies 1450 WTHU. We're about to take you on a musical excursion to a time and place most of you have never been before. Almost a magical time capsule to your life, even if you weren't even born yet. It is Sunday, February 9th, 1964, and millions of you, both young and old in America, are tuning in to The Ed Sullivan Show. Now, for months, you've heard about them and have seen news clips, watching thousands and thousands of young girls crying, screaming, and yes, sometimes even fainting when they saw them in England. And now they've arrived in the United States for one absolutely incredible and yes, historic moment in television history. A time when, for most of us, time is able to stand still. Remember, to mark the 60th anniversary of their looked like no other rock and roll band we had ever seen before. Join us for an entire 3-day weekend, Friday, February 9th through Sunday, February the 11th. Every single half hour, Cool Oldies 1450 will be playing one of their biggest top 40 hits. Think of it, every single half hour to commemorate their appearance 60 years ago on The Ed Sullivan Show. As the Fab Four introduced themselves to all of us, we're taking you back to a time of bell-bottom pants, Nehru jackets, miniskirts, drive-in movies, mop-top haircuts, transistor radios, and turntables with 45s and 33s. If you've got a particular Beatles song you would like to hear, let us know on our website right now. It's simply going to be the grooviest weekend you can ever imagine. Our 3-day tribute to John Lennon, Paul McCartney, George Harrison, and Ringo Starr. At least one Beatles song every half hour for 3 incredible days. No, we can't bring back the magic of Sunday, February 9th, 1964, but we are going to be darn close on the station you can turn to for your greatest memories. Cool Oldies 1450 WTHU.
Where do you get your real-time information? News, weather, traffic, school delays, and cancellations. At Cool 1450 AM, one of our most important resources is FrederickScanner.com. Live traffic cams, weather cams, city and county resources, police, fire and rescue. Anyone living, working, or traveling in and around Frederick should bookmark FrederickScanner.com on their PC or go to their Facebook page and download the mobile app today. FrederickScanner.com. A live information window to Frederick County.
Don't touch that dial. We'll be right back after this important message.
Planned Parenthood continues her tragic legacy. This is Matt Staver with Freedom's Call. The culture of the practice of killing unborn children and harming women can be traced back to Margaret Sanger's life, which was marred by lust, greed, eugenics, deception, and rebellion against God. The abortion machine of Planned Parenthood is continuing its founder's life work and shows no signs of slowing down. And many women and millions of unborn children have paid the price. Sanger wrote, quote, "Our ultimate objective is unlimited sexual gratification without the burden of unwanted children," close quote. Sanger's worldview was rooted in social Darwinism, and her goal was the development of a superior race through selective population control by means of sterilization, birth control, and abortion. Sanger believed in, quote, favored races and strived to eliminate minority populations and disabled people. Stay informed at Liberty Council's website, lc.org.
You have a list of things. None of those things say wander around a warehouse looking for somebody to help you, or walk out not knowing if you got exactly what you need. Nope, you have a list of things, and Ace has them, from the brands you trust. We also have people who ask the right questions to make sure you get everything you need. Because at Ace, we have our own list, and great service is at the top.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Head over to Cousins Ace Hardware today. Located on North Church Street in Thurmont, Cousins Ace Hardware is a proud sponsor of high school athletics on the radio.
We're getting set for the second half of action here on Cool Oldies 1450. Ryan Pierce, Coach Rick Little, 27-26 at the halftime break. Urbana leads Walkersville by 1 point. They led by as much as 7 with just a few minutes left in that second quarter. Walkersville playing without a couple of their best scorers tonight. And Darius Eubank and Justin Fowl. Kenyon Johnson has 2 fouls. A.K. Whitby has 3. Both of them sat out the last couple of minutes in that first half. And Walkersville actually gained ground and kept it close. Only a 1-point game at half. And Coach, you have to imagine that Coach Mathis is happy with the score, even though his team is down by 1.
Yeah, you got to be happy if you're Coach Mathis and staff where you're at right now, considering how much Kenyon Johnson did not play in that half, and they were counting on some players who has very few minutes throughout the season, and they're doing a heck of a job defensively against this Urbana Hawks team, challenging them on the perimeter, you know, and even without Kenyon Johnson there as the shot blocker in behind them, if Urbana does penetrate, giving up 27 points. And as you said, they found a way to score a couple baskets there late in the second quarter, work themselves right back into this game, get the crowd into it, build a little momentum, maybe a little confidence. So Kenyon Johnson should be well rested.
Sure.
If he can stay out of foul trouble, he may not sit down the rest of the game once he gets in there.
And that's what we're keeping an eye on in this half, is foul trouble specifically for Kenyon Johnson, their leading scorer. One of the best scorers and rebounders in the area, averaging 21 points and 11 rebounds a game. You need him out there. Walkersville didn't really have him yet, down by 1, so we watch and see how he acclimates in the second half.
Yeah, and see if Urbana can start to find the range.
Sure.
great outside shooting squad, but they're only 1 for 8 behind the arc in the first half.
Walkersville was able to hit a handful of threes and kept them in it. Down by 1, Urbana starts this second half with the ball in their dark blue road uniforms, working from right to left. A one-handed pass out of the top of Key Johnson. Kenyon Johnson fell. Shot from 17 is missed just inside the three-point line. And a defensive rebound for Gearhart in Walkersville. And now play is stopped.
Shot clock timing again.
And the officials get the shot clock correct. It reads 28, 7:41 left in the third, just underway in the second half. Walkersville's first possession as they work from left to right in their home white uniforms with the yellow and dark blue trim and lettering. Brown about 5 feet on the three-point line. High-low underneath the Johnson bucket plus the foul. Kenyon Johnson hit from behind by Mason Johnson. And he goes to the free throw line for a chance at a three-point play.
Yep, right off the bat, Coach Mathis gets Kenyon Johnson involved offensively. A designed play, back screen for him, and the lob pass.
Johnson missed the free throw. Elijah Brown, a couple nice assists over the past few minutes. Going back to the first half, cross-court pass stolen by Gearhart. Gearhart in transition. He bodies against Whitehead, misses the shot. Brown deflects the rebound and a defensive board by Batchu.
Great defensive play by Gearhart. Just couldn't finish the layup.
On the other end, the runner is good by Caden Swing. And the lead is back to 1 for the visiting Hawks. Trevor Fowl in the game, out of the corner, 3 knocked down by Gearhart. Wyatt Gearhart hits the triple, and now Walkersville leads by 2 with 6:50 left in the third.
That's Wyatt's second three-point field goal tonight.
Gearhart is averaging 2 points per game. He's been great tonight, though already a couple three-pointers. Shot altered by Johnson. Brown the rebound for the Lions.
And that's just the presence of Kenyon Johnson there. He did not block that shot. He altered the shot.
Johnson to Brown at the volleyball line, straight away off the weave to Trevor Fowl. Fowl drives, lost it, almost stolen, and now it is by Whitehead. Whitehead in transition, lets the defender White go by and scores to tie it at 31. Full court press put on by the Hawks as we're even at 31. 6 minutes left in the third quarter. Off the pick to Fowl, the lefty. Met by Piles. Down low to Johnson. Draws the double team of the right block. And a reach and foul. Going to be on Caden Swing, the 5'10 senior. Averaging nearly 9 points per game, is whistled for the foul.
Yeah, as soon as the entry pass into Johnson's made, Urbana doubled down, and that time Swing with the foul when he was trying to help defend Johnson.
Johnson playing with 2 fouls himself as Foul takes a pass off the weave, little give and go, back to Foul, left-handed layup to give the Lions a 2-point lead. On the other end, the Hawks, the kick out to Mason Johnson. His right wing 3 is long, and a weak side rebound. Dylan White for Walkersville, knocked out of bounds. It stays with the Lions.
Just not finding the range tonight. Mason's 0 for 5 unofficially from behind the arc.
White takes the inbounds. He had 5 points on 1 possession in the first half to keep Walkersville within a possession at halftime. Foul picks up his dribble about 13 feet away. Baseline right top of the key to White. Down low to Johnson. Knocked away from behind. Rolls out of bounds. It will stay with the Lions. 11 seconds to shoot. They're up by 2.
Yeah. I know one person I would not want to be tonight, and that's Mason Johnson, because he's guarding Kenyon Johnson, trying to get some help, but boy, that's a task.
Brown to Gearhart, back to Brown. He spins on Patchu, picked up the dribble, 5 to shoot. Fade away, left wing 3 is missed. Long rebound, a run down by Foul. And he resets. Now Foul drives, beats Piles, but a blocking foul called on Sean Piles. That is number 3 on Urbana. Coach, was that Piles the foul, or was that a reach in?
I think Patchu got him on the
gotcha.
arm on the drive. But it's 3, as you said, and kind of different scenario from the first half when Walkersville was getting all the fouls.
Down low to Johnson. His shot is altered, but a foul on Mason Johnson. That is number 4 on Urbana. Clearly, Coach Mathis saw how the whistles were going in the first half, more aggressive in the second.
Yeah. His team's either driving to the hole or lobbing it into Kenyon, who's then forcing the contact as he tries to finish.
Johnson missed the first free throw. One more coming. He's averaging 21 a game, 11 rebounds, splits a pair at the line, and the lead is 3, just under 5 minutes left to go in the third quarter. Walkersville up by 3. Off the wing, it goes to the top of the key to Mason Johnson. Now on the right side, Whitehead, straight on Pachu. Over left wing, Piles. Chance of defense, Grow in the background. Piles tries to drive on a foul. Out to the top to Johnson, straight on Piles. 8 to shoot, about 3 feet beyond the three-point line. 3 from the right wing is no good. Hit off of the overhang, out of bounds. As Whitehead misfired, and Brown will inbound for the Lions. 4:25 remaining, 34-31, Lions up in the third quarter. In the backcourt, it's to White. He's met at the timeline by Whitehead. Brown picks up the dribble, center paint, Johnson works to his right and scores. Kenyon Johnson is feasting in the post.
And Elijah Brown picking up the assist. Great feeds into Kenyon Johnson.
5-point lead for the Lions. Missed three-pointer, weak side of rebound. Whitehead underneath to the cutting swing, missed the shot, but a foul. And Caden swing to the free throw line. That's a nice play there by the senior. Swing missed the 3, stuck with this play, cut to the paint, and got the pass and drew the foul.
Good hustle play. I'll tell you what, both teams are working hard.
Sure.
Playing hard. Good athleticism. So yeah, you can't rest on either of these teams. Now, I was just going to add a little commentary to Trevor Fowle, number 22, starting this second half for AK Whitby, who we think has 3 fouls.
Yeah.
So Coach Mathis limiting his minutes, but they're really counting on Trevor, who typically doesn't play a whole ton of minutes, scoring and defending, doing a great job so far.
Both free throws were made by Caden Swing. Out of the corner, 3 from White is long. And the rebound is off the hand of Sean Piles as he battled with Johnson. And a fresh 30 for Walkersville. They're up by 3, 36-33, down a couple players. Darius Eubank and Justin Fowl not in uniform, 2 regular starters. AK Whitby saddled with 3 fouls. Kenyon Johnson playing with 2. Off the pick, open 3, nothing but net from Wyatt. The lead is 6, the biggest so far tonight for the Lions.
Wyatt Gerhardt, sorry about that. 3 for 3 on long-range shots.
Coach, I think the way the Lions are shooting, a lot of us have had our breath taken away. It's been a strong third quarter for Walkersville, up by 6, 39-33 as Elijah Brown checks out. He is such a gifted passer for his size at 6'5". And AK Whitby subs in, playing with 3 fouls. 3:15 left, a 6-point lead for the Lions. On the left wing to Caden Swing. He tries to drive, and it's stolen by Fowl. On the other end, Fowl, the right-handed layup is missed. Johnson, the offensive rebound, his putback is through. And Walkersville's up by 8 with 3 to go in the third.
Defense creating easy offense for Walkersville.
You can hear the crowd chanting in the background. Packed house at Walkersville High School. Johnson off the pick. Draws the double team in the block and kicks out to Piles. 10 to shoot. Piles spins into Foul, who's called for the bump.
AK Whitby has made entrance into the game here late in the third quarter.
James Steer in for Trevor Fowl, who earns a round of applause. He walks to the bench to get a drink. A fresh 30 for Urbana. The inbound left to the hoop. Top of the key it goes. An open look for Mezinga. He takes and misses. Defensive rebound for Gerhardt. Up by 8. Walkersville has outscored Urbana by 9 in the third quarter. Slowing down the tempo is White. Top of the key to Whitby. Whitby looking for Johnson underneath. Triple team comes and it's knocked away, momentarily stolen. Johnson able to put a hand on it to force the jump ball, and it stays with Walkersville.
Yeah, Coach Mathis has his two big men in, Whitby and Kenyon Johnson, working a little high-low there. And as you said, as soon as the ball was entered, triple team on Johnson.
A 6-game winning streak for Walkersville. What a year they've had. At 15-3, 6 seconds left to shoot. Johnson calls for underneath, and it's stolen by Christian Whitehead. And now Piles slows down the tempo with the defense back for Walkersville. Humes bobbled at the top. Back to Whitehead. The senior straight on to Pachu. Pachu, 4 early points. It's been quiet since that first quarter. Back to Whitehead, 10 to shoot. Whitehead over Johnson. The runner is down to stem the Tide. Lead back to 6 for Walkersville.
It was a big shot for Whitehead there. Closes the gap to a 2-possession game here late in the third quarter.
90 seconds left in the third. Off the pick, White drives, runner. It's off the mark. At a weak side, a rebound, Whitehead. Defensive board, Hawks now on the other end. It goes to the corner, and Urbana resets. Whitehead backs into White, kicks out to the right wing. 3 is good from Keith Mazinga. Is that what, the second 3 so far from Urbana? Cuts the lead to 3 with a minute left in the third. Whitehead across the timeline. He's picked up by Humes. Johnson sets the pick left wing. Top of the key pass goes to Gearhart. He takes a triple and rattles it in. Wyatt Gearhart is cooking 3 threes in the game. Lead balloons to 6, just under 40 left in the third. Straight on to Pachu. Humes, a look left wing, Piles. His deep 3 is long, and Whitby the rebound. And now with the shot clock and game clock almost identical, Coach Mathis calls out for one more shot. Over to the right wing, open look wide, he'll take it and miss long. Johnson, the weak side, a rebound, throws his body to the defender. The spinning shot goes. 46-38, 9 seconds left for Christian Whitehood and company. Across the timeline, Whitehood, the runner off the back rim, off the front rim, it misses, hits the floor, and that is how the quarter ends. Walkersville, a 10-2 run to close, lead 46-38.
Strong shooting from the outside for Walkersville, and half-court defense with Kenyon Johnson there. Boy, they're just playing a great basketball game right now.
Walkersville up by 8 as we close out the third on Cool Oldies, 14-50.
Our local American Legion Post 168 in Thurmont is amazing. Not only do they support local high school sports on the radio, but they have great food, great fun, and they constantly serve our community in so many ways. Check out their Facebook page, American Legion Post 168, to find out about their exciting events. And be sure to say thank you for supporting our local community. And don't you forget to say thank you every time you see them for their selfless sacrifice in military service to our country. Thanks, American Legion Post 168. We salute you. Everyone in Thurmont knows and respects Dr. John Hageman at Center of Life Chiropractic and his wife Marcia at Center of Life Pilates for their many years of helping people in need and for the wonderful ways they give back to their community through scholarship and fundraising efforts. Center of Life is located on Water Street in downtown Thurmont. For information or to check out their schedule, go on.
46-38 on Cool Oldies, 14-50 as we start the fourth quarter. Is a clock issue. Walkersville up by 8. What a quarter from the Lions there, Coach.
A 20-point offensive explosion for the Lions, and then they held Urbana to that average of 11 points a quarter, right on schedule. 20-11 that quarter with Kenyon Johnson in the game. He's a difference maker.
Ball fed to Humes in the left block, and Johnson the rebound. You mentioned at the top, Walkersville gives up 44 points per game, 11 per quarter. Well, been pretty close. They gave up 12 in that first, 11 in the third. What was it, 15 or so in that second quarter?
Yep, just 15, yep.
Yeah. Down low to Johnson. He spins to his right, double clutches in the air and draws a foul. Kenyon Johnson to the free throw line.
If he catches the ball that low, it's almost impossible to stop him without fouling.
20 points, 11 and a half rebounds per game. He's a big reason why Walkersville is shooting 54% this year from 2. Johnson having a hard time at the foul line tonight. Misses the free throw. You can see he's frustrated with himself. Has one more coming.
Yeah, he's typically much higher percentage from the foul line than he's showing tonight.
As a team, the Lions shoot 55%. And Johnson goes 1 for 2. So he pointed to the crowd afterwards, maybe on that Urbana side. It's the biggest lead so far. Lions up 47-38 with 7:20 left. Underneath baseline left, and travel is called on Terry Pachu.
Now full court pressure by Urbana.
Lions can extend their lead to double figures. Inbounds pass goes to Brown from Whitby. Wyatt Gearhart is also out there along with Dylan White and Kenyon Johnson in those white uniforms. Feed goes to Johnson. He immediately draws a triple team, and Mason Johnson is called for a foul.
Yeah.
That's the second foul in the quarter already from Urbana, and a couple subs coming in.
Kenyon is so good with his body positioning and pinning the defender behind him, making it impossible. Like Mason tried to get him around him there, and just can't do it.
Sean Pies back in. Right wing 3 from Gearhart is short. Johnson the rebound and the putback. Lead is 11, 49-38. Humes on the right wing, rubs off the Johnson pick. Pass to Pachu, he retreats the timeline to pick it up. Left wing, Pions with 15 to shoot. Crowd really into it behind Walkersville, who's up by 11. Straight on pass goes to Humes, 8 to shoot. Humes drives, the runner over White, no good. Johnson the defensive rebound.
Humes with a great look there, just not able to bring it home.
Stolen by Urbana. Coretti on the other end. Past the defender, misses the wild shot. Rebound tap, Johnson grabs it one-handed and is fouled as he locked arms with Humes.
Well, Kenyon Johnson just a little bit more energy than the Urbana Hawks, beating them to the rebounds. Now this is where not having Darius Eubank in the lineup might hurt or show for the Lions if Urbana is able to keep this full court pressure on.
Eubank is not in uniform today, neither is Justin Fowl. Lions still up by 11, 6:06 left, and a kickball with 17 seconds in the shot clock, and Lions take it out on the sideline. Gearhart to inbound as Caden Coretti subs out. Caden Swing returns. Swing and Piles along with Terry Pachu are their 3 leading scorers this year. Pass down low, deflected, and stolen by Humes. Back-to-back Humes steals on the other end. Pachu to the rim and scores. That snaps a 4-0 run for Walkersville as Brown inbounds and a timeout taken by Coach Mathis. 49-40, 5:53 left to go. We'll keep it right here on Cool Oldies 1450. Been a good game, Coach. A 1-point lead for Urbana at the half. A phenomenal third quarter from Walkersville once they were able to get Johnson back in with those 2 fouls. And he stayed out of foul trouble. Hasn't picked one up in the half, and they're up by 9.
Yeah, and you know, it's 9. It's only 3 possessions. If you're Walkersville, you got to take care of the ball. You can't afford to have those type of turnovers that led to the Urbana score, the run out and the layup. They just got to take their time. They got the tall lineup with Whitby, Brown, and Kenyon Johnson in there. That's hard to match up with.
Sure.
Coach Mathis likes to run what they call power triangle with those 3 tall guys. And I look for him to really work that play here this 4th quarter.
49-45, 53. Go ahead, Coach. What were you going to say?
Yeah, it was just the fourth quarter is important. They got to break the press, and then they can run that power triangle down here on the offensive end.
Ball knocked out of bounds, touched by Caden, swing in the backcourt. And it'll be inbounded by Walkersville, 26 in the shot clock, so they still have 6 seconds to get across the timeline.
Yeah, I think coach is trying to get them lined up right, who wants to, and they need the ball in Dylan White's hands so he can dribble against the pressure, or they just need to pass it up through.
No Darius Eubank tonight. As White across the timeline, he kept Walkersville afloat in the first half before Kenyon Johnson came back in with that foul trouble. Now straight on White, down low Johnson, knocked away by Mason Johnson behind, tries to pass it across the paint to Brown, and once again it is stolen this time by Pachu. 3 straight steals for Urbana. On the other end, swing off the pick, into the paint, dumps off Johnson. Johnson drives, shot altered by Kenyon Johnson and missed it. Brown the rebound, passes up the floor to White, who spins to the corner. Whitby, big three. It's off the back rim and a miss. Mason Johnson had the defensive rebound. Kenyon Johnson took it away and called timeout. It will be Walkersville ball.
Walkersville saves possession there. But Coach Mathis, that's their 3rd timeout. Only 2 remaining.
Full timeout taken by the Lions, up 49-40. Hustle play by Walkersville, and that's been a big difference in the second half. Kenyon Johnson getting on the floor, getting a floor burn, and was able to pick up the ball and call timeout.
Yep. It's always impressive when your big guys down on the floor diving for the loose balls. It just energizes the team and the crowd here at Walkersville.
Lions trying to go to 16-3 this season. The 2A team, one of the best 2A rosters in the state. As Urbana 10-8, they're 4-2 in the Spires Conference.
Yeah, and this is a quality 4A school that Urbana has brought here to Walkersville.
49-40 after the timeout. Walkersville inbound, far side of the court, working left to right. In front of a big crowd here at Walkersville High School. The intimidating logo of the Lion painted just above the bleachers with the words Walkersville Lions written to the right. As White takes the inbounds to Brown, high right wing. Brown picks up the dribble. Now reverse over to White on the left wing. 15 to shoot. White off the pick from Brown. Brown rolls in the left block. Instead, it goes to Gearhart. Gearhart, right elbow jumper is missed, and the left side rebound pulled in by Pachu. As Kenyon Johnson is getting a quick, no, he's out there, excuse me. Johnson still on the floor. Driving center, paint piles, lets the defender go by, missed it. Kenyon Johnson, the defensive rebound, and he trips over the defender, but fouled in the backcourt. That is 4 on Urbana in the 4th quarter.
And none still on the home team Walkersville Lions. So what we talked about in the first half, it seemed like Urbana, or all the fouls were directed at Walkersville. Here in the second half, all the fouls are directed at Urbana.
That right side of the court has been a foul magnet. And this one's in the backcourt as swing is whistled for the reach on Trevor Fowl, and they'll take the long stroll to the other end. Fowl has got some free throws coming up. 4:32 left. Walkersville could potentially ice this game at the free throw line.
Yeah, they're going to have to make some foul shots the way this is playing out here. Not even midway through the quarter, and they're already shooting on every foul.
The first is missed by Trevor Fowl. He's got one more coming. As Pachu is back in, Mason Johnson subs out. Foul, one more free throw for the lefty, getting extended minutes today without Darius Eubank and Justin Fowl, his brother, in the lineup. He missed the second, missed everything. A little bit of a breeze must have picked that one up in the air, and the positive side is it's a dead ball and it allows Walkersville to set up their defense. Leading by 9, 4:30 left. Swing off the pick, bounce underneath the Pachu. He works the up and under and scores at a timeout taken by Urbana.
30-second timeout by the Hawks so they can set up the press, I'm sure. And just too many empty possessions for Walkersville here in the fourth quarter. That's 4 or 5 in a row that they could have extended the game, basically iced the game. But Urbana's still in it, only down 7. A lot of basketball to be played here yet tonight.
Both teams playing to their percentages, or I guess their averages. Walkersville gives up 44 points per game. Urbana's at 42. The Hawks give up 55 per game. Walkersville is creeping close to that at 49. Up by 7 after the nice up and under layup by Terry Pachu. And now, as Coach Little said, Urbana sets up the full court press. Brown to inbound. The 6'5" lengthy wing is one of the team's better passers. Maybe the best passer on the team. A couple impressive assists. Johnson's at the timeline, while Gearhart, White also on the floor, along with Trevor Fowl, who takes the inbounds pass and brings it across the timeline as the defense retreats to midcourt. White slows up the tempo. Down low to Fowl, left block, plucks it out of the sky and pulls it back to White. Now White feeds in the paint to Johnson, who attracts a triple team. Johnson, awkward shot, no. Grabs his own rebound and puts it up from the left block.
Wow. Just no quitting that young man. Off balance on the shot. Regained his balance quick enough to get up, get the offensive rebound, and put it home.
Swing missed the 3. Front side rebound and put back from Whitehead with 3:45. Makes it a 7-point lead for the Lions. Cross-court pass to Gearhart. On the other end of Johnson, almost lost control. Grabbed it, missed it. And the rebound was pulled away into the hands of Sean Piles for Urbana. Straight on to Pachu. Over to Swing. Thought about a deep left wing 3. Instead, off the pick. Now left side of Humes. Feeds underneath to Pachu. Pachu gathers, misses, but a foul called on the shot. Kenyon Johnson is whistled, and Pachu returns to the free throw line.
Kenyon picks up his 3rd foul.
Pachu averaging just under 11 points per game. Scored a couple early at the free throw line. Trying to make this a 2-possession contest. The first one pops out. Mason Johnson subs back in. And Swing comes out, and Pachu's got one more coming. Down by 7. Walkersville 51. Urbana 44 as Elijah Brown subs out. A.K. Whitby back in. 3:19 remaining. 2A versus 4A matchup. Right now the 2A team the advantage as the second free throw is good from Pachu. Lead is 6, 2-possession game. Full court press, over the top pass to White, lobs underneath to Johnson, who gathers and scores from the left block.
And if you're a coach, you love that press break. If they're going to press, you want to attack it and make them pay. And Walkersville did just that on that possession.
High left to Pachu, and Terry Pachu. For a second, we thought it was going to be steps, but the far side official says it was first a foul on Trevor Fowl, just the second on Walkersville. And it'll be inbounded left to the hoop by Urbana. Swing to inbound. Piles to his left, and underneath the basket is Pachu. It goes out to Pachu, top of the key. He drives on Brown, Euro step, throws it up and missed it. Johnson is able to alter defensive rebound Walkersville. Gearhart may have dribbled it off the leg. Nope, knocked out of bounds. It will stay with the Lions near sideline. 2:49 left. Lions up by 8. To make this tough on Urbana with a field goal here.
Yep.
Gearhart off the pick, tried to pass, and it's kicked by Pachu. 19 on the clock. Gearhart walks in front of the bench with Coach Mathis in his right ear to inbound. Cross-court pass deflected into the backcourt, picked up by White, knocked away by Pachu, and a foul. It was actually picked up by, Dylan White, and he'll go to the free throw line for a couple.
Yeah, and that's just a hustle play. Pachu trying to get the loose ball.
Some confusion Everybody pointing to the basket, trying to say, hey, it's free throws. So White will take a couple. In the bonus, here's Dylan White, averaging 6 points per game. A good foul shooter, rims out the first. Three-point shot's been great for Walkersville today. It's the free throws that have not gone down. Shooting 55% of the air, one more coming.
I think today's got to be about 20
The second
so far.
It rattles in, lead extends to 9 with 2:35 left. One-handed pass from Swing is bobbled and on the floor and stolen by the Lions. James Steer comes away with it. Now double team in the backcourt. He's able to get it away to Gearhart, who dribbles into the front court. Cross-court pass to Steer. Steer thought about a three, not going to take it. Wants to work the clock with 15. His team up by 9, 2:20 left to go in the game. Gearhart off the pick. Has it knocked away by Pachu out of bounds with 13. Walkersville inbounds far sideline.
Kenyon Johnson trying to get Walkersville set up into something where they're going to feed him low.
Ball to Brown, and it's stolen by Pachu in transition. The one-handed throw down, and timeout taken by Coach Cromer as he wants to set up that full court press.
Yep. Their second of 5, so 3 remaining. Oh, he changed it to a full timeout.
A little more intense at Walkersville High School after that dunk from Pachu. 54-47. Still a 7-point cushion for the Lions. Got to take care of the ball, though. Can't give up turnovers.
Yeah, and what I see is Walkersville's kind of like second guessing themselves on the pass. Do I want to make this one? And that hesitation's given Urbana just that split second they need to get a deflection, and then the ball's loose.
It's where Darius Eubank, who's not playing tonight, would come in handy for Walkersville. They're without him and Justin Fowl, two of their best scorers. The first half saw Kenyon Johnson hampered by foul trouble. Urbana was up by 7. Walkersville got it down to 1 at halftime and now lead by 7. As the clock is now going, 2:04 left. Gearhart into the front court. Gives to White. Walkersville handles the press fine there. And Steer hit the floor, center paint. Foul called on Urbana.
It's got to go on Powell's, kind of pushing Steer through.
So back to the free throw line goes Walkersville with 1:56 left, 54-47. It's going to come down to free throws, and Steer got the first. Smooth shot. Seems like the guy you want at the foul line.
I was going to say, that was beautiful looking rotation. Nothing but the bottom of the net for James Steer on his first foul shot of the evening.
One more coming for Steer, and it's no good. Rebound batted to the near sideline. It's out of bounds. Last touch by Johnson. So Mason Johnson will inbound for Urbana. Ball out on Kenyon Johnson.
I think the clock continued to run a little too long, so they're adjusting the game clock. A minute and 55 seconds. They put 4 seconds back on the game clock.
Ball picked up by Swing. He's across the timeline with 1:50 left. 8-point lead for the Lions. Underneath pass goes to Whitehead. Top of the key, Mason Johnson. Drives on Kenyon Johnson. Draws the double team left block. Fades away. Johnson altered underneath the basket. Gearhart the defensive rebound. Now the Lions in the front court. They slam all the brakes, and White resets to work the clock. 90 seconds left in the game, 20 on the shot clock. It's knocked away in the backcourt. White retreats and picks it up. Brown feeds down low to Johnson. Johnson gets the bucket plus the foul. And that might be the icing on the cake. The lead is up to 10. The clock ran an extra 3 or 4 seconds. We'll see if the officials notice. It reads 1:18. Should probably read 1:22 as Johnson to the foul line to try to complete the and one.
And as you talked about earlier, the passing of Elijah Brown, again, That entry right there, right on the hands of Johnson, and then can't be stopped.
He averages just under 2 assists per game. By my count, that is 4 for him today. That high-low is run to perfection as Walkersville has reached their season average of 57 points per game. A minute 22 left. Johnson trying to complete the three-point play. He cannot. Rebound. Center paint, Sean Piles. Defensive rebound. Urbana on the other end. They got to go quickly. A minute 15 left. They're down by 10. Piles in the paint. Missed the shot. Tried over Johnson. Couldn't get it to go. And Kenyon Johnson the rebound. He continues to be a force on the defensive side as well as offensively. Foul across the timeline. Had it knocked away. Almost stolen. Now in the hands of White. He's begging for the defenders to foul him. To Johnson. Draws a double team. Trapped from behind. And this will be a foul, I believe, on Mason Johnson. And it is. And Kenyon Johnson's back to the free throw line. 51.8 seconds left.
Yeah, and Walkersville could ice this with some made free throws, but they're kind of keeping Urbana in the game. I believe tomorrow morning Coach Mathis will have the young men shooting a few foul shots.
As Johnson misses the free throw, and they make, I'd say 60% of these, they'd probably be up by about 16 points right now.
They'd be out of reach, yes.
Producer Michael Betteridge letting me know Johnson 2 for 9 today. It's the only thing he's done wrong. He's been so good at rebounding, great defensively, having a phenomenal offensive game. 2 for 10 as Mason Johnson defensive rebound. Here comes Urbana. They still have a little bit of life, down by 10, 45 seconds. They got to score very quickly. Center paint pass goes. Now to the top of the key, Whitehead. He lines up the three and got it. It's down to 7 and a timeout taken by Urbana.
Yeah, they're to the point where going inside and challenging Johnson's not the answer. Big three-point shot there by Whitehead. Trims the lead to 7. And a full timeout taken by Urbana.
Urbana takes the timeout, 57-50 with 45 seconds left.
Yep.
There is a pulse for Urbana, but they need to get a stop and do well. I want to remind you about our sponsors tonight. American Legion Post 168, Center of Life Chiropractic, Fredericktown Yamaha, Kelco Plumbing, and Thurmont Country Kitchen. We really appreciate all of our great sponsors. It's 57-50. Urbana is trailing by 7. What do you think here, Coach, out of the timeout?
Well, again, use full court pressure, and Urbana has to hit some three-point shots. They've only hit, I got 3 of 16 here in the game from behind the arc. So they're going to have to find the range quick, because going inside and challenging Johnson's not an answer right now. Because he's altering shots, if not blocking them, somehow avoiding picking up that 4th foul.
38.4 left. Walkersville to inbound on the far. They'll have to go the length of the floor. Brown to inbound in the backcourt. The ball goes to Gearhart, and he's wrapped up quickly by Whitehead. Gearhart to the free throw line for a couple. 36 seconds left. Walkersville up by 7. 55% on the year on the Lions from the free throw line. Gearhart, one of their better shooters, has a chance to put this up to 8 or 9. Spins a couple times. The foul shot is good from Gearhart. He's had a good shooting day. A couple three-pointers. Solid at the free throw line.
Yeah, I got him 4 for 5.
Oh, yeah, okay, 4 for 5. Okay.
On three-pointers.
One more coming for Wyatt Gearhart. What a day he has into double-figure scoring. Missed the second. Brown had it for a second. It went off the foot, though, of Whitehead for Urbana. And it stays with Walkersville. They're up by 8.
Fortunate bounce there.
Yeah.
It just...
Inbound goes to Brown. He draws a double team, able to get it away to Trevor Fowl. Now over to Gearhart, and a foul taken by Piles.
And Wyatt was just holding the ball, saying, okay, come foul me. You got to like that attitude.
It is the guy you want at the free throw line if you are Walkersville. He's got the confidence and the shot. Went 1 for 2 his last trip, 27 seconds left. And the Lions are up by 8. As a free throw, or a pair coming for Gearhart. He rims out the first. One is up with the free throw shooting from Walkersville. He's got one more coming.
If Coach Mathis had any hair, he'd be pulling it out right now.
Still a comfy lead, up by 8. And Gearhart gets a second. Bounced around and through. Lead is 9 with 25 to shoot. Here comes Swing on the other end. The step back three is long. And the rebound by Fowl. He is bumped in the backcourt and will go to the free throw line to stop the clock. And Walkersville can now sense the victory, up by 9 with 18 seconds left.
3 possession game right now. One of these two makes it 4. That's a lot to ask in 18 seconds. So the Walkersville crowd sensing it.
Foul banks in the free throw. Oh, and your night's not been going great at the foul line. You get one of those to go in.
You do one of those old time shots like when I played. You throw it off the backboard.
The second one is long. Lead is 10. Johnson tapped the rebound. It's now in the hands of Pachu on the other end. Straight on 3 is long. Rebound Whitehead. He dribbles back to the three-point line left side. His shot is short. Rebound by Piles. Piles to the left block. Got it to go. Lead down to 8 with 2 seconds to go. Inbounds pass. Runs out the clock. And Walkersville is 16-3. They're down by 1 at halftime. They're playing shorthanded. They're in foul trouble. A dominant third, a controlling fourth. And Walkersville comes away with the 68-52 win.
Yeah. Boy, and if you're Coach Mathis, you learn a lot about your team tonight. You needed some alternate scoring, you found it. You needed more players to come off the bench and support when Kenyon Johnson was in foul trouble in the first half. You found it. So, yeah, boy, what a night for Walkersville. Urbana just not able to find that three-point shot tonight, and Walkersville the victor.
Final score, Walkersville 60, Urbana 52. The Lions are now 16-3. Urbana drops to 10-9. What a performance from Kenyon Johnson, but also give credit to Wyatt Gearhart, 4 3-pointers. He really lit it up in that first, or what was that, the third quarter? Yeah, the third quarter, he caught fire.
And Dylan White, beginning of the game, and then in the second quarter, some big shots and led the team at the point guard position without Darius Eubank there playing tonight. So, yeah, what a learning experience for the coaching staff of Walkersville and this team, where, you know, sometimes you're looked at as the alternate when you have Kenyon Johnson in the game the whole time, and Darius Eubanks, two prolific scorers. They're not there. Somebody else picks it up. So, you know, as a coach, you got to be really happy seeing your, quote, other players take the ball and run with it.
One more thanks to our sponsors: American Legion Post 168, Center of Life Chiropractic, Fredericktown Yamaha, Kelco Plumbing, and Thurmont Country Kitchen. Big thanks to Tyler. Great job on the video. Michael Betteridge, our producer. For Coach Rick Little, I'm Ryan Pierce. Again, the final 60-52. Walkersville wins by 8 on Cool Oldies 1450.
Good night, all.
Don't worry, if you can't make it to the game or miss the broadcast, all of our high school sports games are archived and available online at WTHUradio.com in our audio vault.